In today's session, we'll complete the basic equation for the radiation resistance of an antenna. Okay. Now we'll just proceed. In the last class, we have spoke about certain things here. So for a dipole antenna, what is the equation we have written now? The length of dipole antenna is taken as equal to h, and for a half wave dipole we have taken L is equal to lambda by 2. So these two are the lengths which we have represented. So therefore we can equate these two equations as 2h is equal to lambda by 2. So using this equation we can find out the height of the antenna, that is the dipole antenna. So dipole antenna height can be written as equal to lambda by 4. So this is known as the height of the antenna, height of the antenna. So we have a dipole antenna, so we normally going to have a height of the dipole antenna, right? Now in this we'll take, let lambda is equal to 2 pi for solving this equation. Then we'll be getting h is equal to 2 pi by 4. So therefore here what happens now, this 2 times it will go now, that means we'll be getting pi by 2. So h becomes equal to pi by 2 for us, so which is nothing but height of the antenna. Next we have an equation in the previous session, that sine beta of h plus z and sine beta of h minus z. Now these two equations are going to, these two are the wave equations which are going to be there at the two plates of the dipole, positive as well as negative plate of the dipole, along the positive z direction and negative z direction. So the amplitude of these two are normally equal to same compulsorily. So therefore we can equate these two equations. Now we found out h is equal to pi by 2 just now. So this h value will substitute here pi by 2. So it is going to be something like sine pi by 2 plus theta, which is nothing but equal to cos theta. And also sine pi by 2 minus theta is also going to be equal to cos theta. So therefore we can write now cos of beta is a constant which will take it outside. So beta z, so cos beta z. So we can simply write this as equal to cos beta z. So which is what these two equations, that is sine of beta pi by 2 plus 2, okay, plus z, okay. So is equal to sine of beta of pi by 2 minus z, which is nothing but equal to cos beta z. So this is the equation we get. Now let us go back to the magnetic potential Az, magnetic potential along z direction. A is known as the magnetic potential vector. So this z designates that direction of propagation of the wave. So I can write this as Az is equal to, from the previous equation now, mu by 4 pi r, okay, integration of minus h to 0. What is this minus h we have? Minus h is nothing but, say if you consider that it is a dipole antenna, okay, it's going to be minus h, it's going to be plus h. So this one is going to be 0 for us, z is equal to 0 axis. Alright, so now minus h to 0 and integration value we have got, plus 0 to h, okay, plus 0 to h. Sorry, this should be 0 to h. You normally going to have 0 to h. So these two are the equations we are going to get. Now I can take this term as T1, first term, this as say some term T2. Now we will try to solve this term T2, okay, in order to solve the overall equation. So first of all we will solve the term T2. So T2 is nothing but equal to Im sine beta of h plus z into e to the power minus beta of, we have r, capital R here. So capital R is nothing but equal to r minus, what is capital R basic equation we have got in the previous class, we discussed r minus z cos theta, that is nothing but capital R. So this beta into this is nothing but the capital R. So this capital R we can replace with this r minus z cos theta. Now I will be getting this equation Im sine of same thing beta of h minus z. Now there are two expressions in the integration. One is going to be for the limits minus h to 0 and other one is going to be 0 to h. So therefore we will write Im sine beta of this particular factor as it is. So two equations are going to be really same except the limits, that whatever we are going to have it over here. So now we know the exponential representation of an equation can be written something like this, e power minus j beta of all these factor I can write as equal to what now, e power minus j beta r. When I multiply this with the component which is there in the exponential, as this is minus into minus plus e power plus j beta z cos theta. So this is the equation I can write. Now let us substitute this equation in the above two equations. When you substitute in the above two equations, what is that we normally going to represent this as now? So integral of minus s to 0 Im, okay, cos beta z into e power minus j beta r into e power plus j cos theta dz. All right. Madam. Now what is the value for sin beta of h minus z and sin beta of h plus z? We have computed here. The value is normally equal to cos of beta plus z. So cos of beta z. When you substitute h is equal to pi by 2, we got this as cos beta z. So we can replace this value as cos beta z. Okay, that means for this sine, these two components we can replace for these two as cos beta z into e raised to minus j beta r into e raised to plus j beta z cos theta. Similarly, I can expand this the same for the another limit 0 to h limits. So therefore Im cos beta z, this is for sine of h minus z component into the exponential component as it is. Okay. Now here to solve this equation, the only problem we have is the limits. One limit is minus s to 0, another limit is 0 to h. So here what we will do now, we normally going to reverse the order of integration. So here this minus s to 0 will reverse the order of integration from 0 to h. That means I will be reversing the order for the z direction. Now here in this equation we have plus z here. So this plus z will normally going to make as minus z. So this e power minus z normally we represent here. That's why I put here with a blue ink here. So this sign is normally going to get changed because we have reversed the order of the integration. So since we have reversed the order of integration, we got this particular equation now. Okay. Since we have reversed the order of integration, we have replaced this equation plus what we are going to have now, Im cos beta z into e power j beta r into e power plus j beta z cos theta. This equation remains same for us. So that means we have simply got the equation of two limits with different limiting values. That means the different limiting value limits are converted into the same limiting value expression. Now we have to solve this equation now. Okay. So now we will rewrite the equation now, whatever we have got now after reversing the order of integration, something like this. So see the limits now, both the integrations are having the same limit 0 to h, 0 to h. Now since this limit has been changed from minus s to 0, from minus s to 0 to 0 to h, we have interchanged the z direction here with a minus sign. That is what the change that we have brought here. Now rest of the equation is normally equal to the same equation. Now here this equation is now integrating with respect to z, dz, because wave is propagating along z direction. So therefore we are integrating with respect to z here. Now what is the overall equation for potential now? Magnetic potential is equal to mu into Im by 4 pi r e power minus j beta z, beta r this is beta r part. So this part we are taking it out. Okay, Im is also constant, so we will take this Im, maximum amplitude of the current which is flowing through the dipole antenna. So this also we will take it outside, and this part we will take it outside. And what are the rest of the parts remain now? Integration is same now, therefore integration of 0 to h, I can take cos beta z as common. Here I got cos beta z, here also I got cos beta z. I can take common now. Once I take common, what I can write now? I can write this equation as now. From this equation I will be getting e power plus j beta z cos theta plus e power minus j beta z cos theta. Now What is this equation now? This equation can be written in this form. What is cos theta basically? E power j theta plus e power minus j theta by 2. That is the trigonometric relationship we have. So based on this, I can write this cos 2 theta is equal to e power j theta plus e power minus j theta. So this equation is in that form. So therefore, I will write this equation in the cos theta form, 2 cos theta. So I can write this as 2 cos of, what is theta value? Theta value is normally equal to beta z, cos theta is nothing but theta here, representation. So for theta I am writing beta z cos theta. So the equation we got as 2 cos of beta z cos theta. So we have just simply represented this using this particular trigonometric relationship. Right. So after this we have another relationship, that is, this is in the form of 2 cos a cos b form. What is 2 cos a cos b? Cos of a plus b plus cos of a minus b form. So this is in the form of another trigonometric relationship as cos of a plus b plus cos of a minus b. So let us try to expand this equation in terms of cos of a plus b into cos of a minus b. So let us expand this now. Once you expand, this part remains as it is, the term 1. So t1 part remains as it is. Term 2 we normally going to have now, we normally going to calculate. The limits are always going to be 0 to h here. So 0 to h. So what I can write is cos of a is nothing but, this is equivalent to a now. This part is equivalent to a. Okay, this part is equivalent to b in the above equation. So I will be replacing cos of a plus b plus cos of a minus b into beta z. Now once after we integrate this, what is the integration of cos? It is going to be sine. Okay, integration of cos is sine of this factor, and the variable component is going to be z. So therefore wherever you are going to have z, so I can take this beta z as common. Beta z, if I take common, 1 plus cos theta. So if we integrate cos, we get a cos theta by whatever that part you have for the variable. That variable part we are going to get here by beta into 1 minus cos theta. So similarly I can do it for the other part also, that is going to be sine of beta z into 1 minus cos theta by beta into 1 minus cos theta. So that is what the equation for potential that we have got. Well, proceeding further, we will be getting into the equation as Az is equal to mu Im by 4 pi r beta into e raised to minus j beta r, okay, into the sine component, that is sine beta z 1 plus cos theta by beta of 1 plus cos theta plus sine beta z of, now this is what the components we have got. Now once we got this, what we do now? We simply take the LCM on this, is we normally take the common beta of 1 plus cos theta into beta of 1 minus cos theta we solve, and therefore here on this side we have beta of 1 plus 1 minus cos theta is cross multiplied with this sine beta z of 1 plus cos theta plus sine beta z of 1 minus cos theta into beta of 1 plus cos theta. So this is what the equation we get. Now once we get this equation, next what we will be having now? See, from this equation beta can be taken as common. Right, here I have beta and beta square I have. So one of the beta is going to get cancelled out each other. And in this equation whatever we have, this term 1 remains as it is as term 1. So we are just simply solving the term 2 now. So now we can write beta z is equal to, what is the beta expression? Basically beta is known as propagation constant, which can be written as equal to 2 pi by lambda. From the transmission line theory we can write beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda, and z is nothing but known as height of the antenna, h. So already we have defined previously h is equal to lambda by 4. So therefore we simply multiply 2 pi by lambda into lambda by 4. Lambda will get cancelled here. 2 normally goes, 4 goes with 2 times. So we get now pi by 2. So beta z is equal to now pi by 2. What is that we have got now? This is nothing but equal to beta z. Beta z we have got as equal to pi by 2. Now that pi by 2 we have to substitute in this equation now. In this equation, if you take now beta z into the brackets now, into the parenthesis, I can write sine of beta z plus beta z cos theta. Here also sine of beta z minus beta z cos theta. So beta z is represented with pi by 2. So this is pi by 2. So that means, what is this sine pi by 2 plus theta? It's going to be cos theta. Similarly, sine pi by 2 minus theta is also going to be equal to cos theta. So therefore, I can represent these two as cos theta. So 1 minus cos theta into this part I have written as equal to this part, I have written as equal to cos theta part. So that means cos of pi by 2 plus theta. Similarly, I have 1 plus cos theta into this part as once again cos theta by what is 1 minus cos square theta? It is going to be equal to sin square theta. Why? Because sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So from this equation, this one if we take onto the LHS side, sin square theta on the RHS side, we normally going to get sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta. So therefore I can write this as equal to sin square theta. Alright, so therefore Az is equal to mu Im e power minus j beta remains as it is, 4 pi r beta remains as it is. Now in this equation I can take cos of pi by 2 cos theta as common. Now these two components left over, now I simply add these two. When I add these two, I am having minus cos theta plus cos theta will get cancelled out each other. Then I will be having now here, this is 1 plus 1 2 into something here I got. Okay, now by sin square theta, of course that is there, by sin square theta. Here also I will be having by sin square theta remains as it is. So I will be getting this equation as cos pi by 2 of cos theta by sin square theta. So here 4 goes with 2 times. So finally I will be writing the equation now as final equation as Az is equal to mu Im e raised to minus j beta r by 2 pi r beta into cos of pi by 2 cos theta by sin square theta. Now the equation what I can write for Az becomes equal to now mu Im e power j beta r by 2 pi r beta, because 2 from here got cancelled with 4 here, so I will be getting 2 pi r into beta cos of the same factor, cos of pi by 2 cos theta by sin square theta. Now we know from the spherical coordinate system, that is EMTL very first chapter, from spherical coordinate system we can write del cross A, that is what, the curl of the magnetic field vector I can write as equal to 1 by r square sin theta, determinant of this matrix now, AR, R A theta, R sin theta, A phi. Now the wave is normally going to get propagated along AR, A theta or A phi directions. Now here this one is going to be differential component is going to be dou by dou r, this is going to be for theta, so dou by dou theta, this is going to be for phi, therefore I can write this as dou by dou phi. And the vector is normally going to represent as equal to now for AR, simply AR, for A theta, R A theta, and for A phi, R sin theta, A phi. Now we are interested in getting into only A phi. Let us say we are interested in only getting into A phi component. In order to get H phi, I want to get A phi. So therefore let us go with A phi. A phi means what? This part. So close this part. So once if I want to get this particular thing A phi component, what I will be having here? I am having dou by dou A theta by dou r into r. So A theta into r, that means dou by dou r into A theta into r I can have, minus dou AR by dou theta. Now here what we do is now we will take theta is equal to 0. The curl along the d theta is taken as equal to 0, therefore this part is made equal to 0 for simplification. I left over with this particular part. Now from the Maxwell's equations, what is that we can write now? From Maxwell's equations I can write this going to be B, okay, is equal to del cross A. B is equal to del cross A. What is B? B is equal to mu H. So therefore I can write del cross A along the phi direction is equal to mu into H phi, as B is equal to mu H. So if I am taking along phi direction, I am writing H as H phi component. So therefore I can write this as del cross H is nothing but equal to mu H phi component. So I will be writing for mu H phi now is equal to this component now, 1 by r into dou by dou r, r A theta is nothing but equal to Az sin theta. Now we have to simply differentiate that with respect to r component. We will solve that by differentiating now. Now while solving the previous expression, which is nothing but equal to del cross A is equal to mu AH phi. So I can write this equation as something like del cross A is equal to B. B is nothing but equal to mu H. So we are looking into the phi direction, therefore I can write this as mu h phi. So this mu h phi is equal to 1 by r. From the determinant previously what we have got, we can write it like this. And for a theta, this is what represented for a theta. So what is a theta? So this a theta, now a theta is nothing but I have written this as minus of az sin theta. So this is what z axis in the dipole antenna. This is going to be z axis, and along z axis we are going to have the az component. Okay. So az component, now the angle theta is known as elevation angle. Theta is known as elevation angle. So this angle is theta. So this radial component, radial distance component is nothing but equal to simply az sin theta. So from mathematics we can write this is going to be az sin theta. So I can write minus of az sin theta for this. Okay. So now I can have this minus sin theta dou by dou r of az I can have. So already we have defined expression for az. Okay, az is the magnetic vector potential. So by taking this magnetic vector potential equation as this, we can just simply substitute that equation over here. Dou by dou r of this equation. Mu az is nothing but equal to mu am e power minus j beta r by 2 pi beta r into cos of pi by 2 cos theta by sin square theta. Now this sin theta I have taken over here, which is nothing but into sin theta. So this sin theta and sin square theta will get cancelled once. Then now we are differentiating with respect to r. We have r component here e power minus j beta r. So if we differentiate this partially, what I will be getting now? E power minus j beta r into minus j beta. All the rest of the other components remains same for us. So I will simply write the same components as it is without making any changes. Now what happens now? What we can have now? This beta and this beta will get cancelled, right? And this is minus into minus becomes plus. Then we will be getting the modulus value, absolute value of this magnetic field along phi direction is equal to Im by 2 pi r into this equation cos of pi by 2 of cos theta by sin theta, which is represented in amperes per meter square. So that is the equation which we will be getting here. After that we can get the equation for E theta. After that we will be getting the equation. Now we will be proceeding towards finding out the expression for E theta. To find out the expression for E theta, we have an intrinsic standoff ratio formula which is equal to eta is equal to E theta by h phi, and that value is normally equal to 120 pi or 377 ohms. So which can be written as equal to 120 pi or 377. So I can write now E theta from this equation is equal to eta into h phi. So therefore I got already expression for h phi. So we will substitute expression for h phi in this equation. So E theta is equal to 120 pi into what is h phi? Im by 2 pi r into cos of pi by 2 cos theta by sin theta. So therefore this is what the equation we have. Now what happens now? This 120 goes with 2. So therefore I will be having 60 Im by r, pi will get cancelled. So this part remains as it is. Now we have got the expression for E theta. So what equations we are supposed to get now? We are supposed to get h phi and E theta. So what is h phi we have got earlier? It is going to be Im by 2 pi r into cos of pi by 2 cos theta sin theta. Right, that is going to be h phi, and E theta is going to be this. These two are the equations which we are supposed to get. So for solving the problems, it is better for us to remember the expressions for E theta and h phi. So if you remember the values for expressions for E theta and h phi, you can easily solve in the end examination as far as problems are concerned. So therefore please try to remember these two formulas, practice them more, right, so that we can attempt the problems in the end exam based on the radiation resistance, or if at all he may ask us to find out the value for E theta and h phi by giving the other parameters, so you can able to find out them. Right, next we are going towards finding out the radiation resistance. So what is radiation resistance? Basically it is related to the power. Why it is related to the power? So the power radiation omega is equal to what we can write? I square r. What is power? Basically power omega is equal to I square r. So I can write this r is going to be the radiation resistance, Now I can write this I as IRMS. So the power is normally equal to IRMS square. Already we discussed this in the class. So therefore we try to get this equation for power density in terms of IRMS into RR form. So in that process we are going towards solving the expression for the power density. So therefore power density is equal to, what is the formula we have? The integration of average power density over a closed surface. So is nothing but the power density for us. So average power is equal to what now? E theta h phi by 2. Why it is going to be like this? So what is this E theta? I can write as E theta by root 2, and what is h phi? I will be writing this as h phi by root 2. So they are known as the rated values. They are known as the rated values. So we simply substitute the rated values, E theta by root 2, h phi by root 2. So now this root 2 becomes 2 now. So therefore I will be having 1 by 2 E theta into h phi over the closed surface integral under consideration. So now what we can have now here? So the equation what we will be having now, W is equal to now 1 by 2. Now this 1 by 2 is constant. I will simply take it out. E theta h phi. In E theta and h phi, what are the constants we have? 60 Im by r is a constant. I will write it here. And next is Im by 2 pi r is a constant. I will simply put it over here. And next the derivative, the variable part is going to be this part now. So I can just simply integrate it with respect to pi, because in order to show the radiation, see, we are always going to consider the electromagnetic wave is simply going to get radiated in a particular direction along theta. So therefore we are going to consider theta as the variable element. So along theta, we normally going to have a differential surface element ds over the theta angle. So therefore I will consider differential surface area ds. Now we have to solve this particular equation in order to get into the final equations, right? So here what I will be having now, this one goes 30, 6 by 2 is 30, and 30 by 2 is going to be 15 for us. So I will be having here 15 into IRMS square by R square into this factor. So this part becomes simply equal to 15 Im square, 15 Im square by R square. Okay, so pi is there, yes, pi is there, pi r square, 15 Im square by pi r square into the rest of the part remains as it is. So now we have to solve that equation to get into the expression for the power density. Okay. Now we will be solving for the power density. W is equal to, so what we can write this as 15 Im square by pi r square into this particular factor, cos of pi by 2, cos theta by sin theta, all that. Okay. Now I can take for simplification, r is approximated, capital R is approximated to small r. So I can write this 15 into, what is Im square? Im square is equal to root 2 IRMS, because we are looking for IRMS square. So therefore we will get into IRMS. So by pi r square into this factor. Alright. So now let us expand this now. This is root 2 square becomes 2. So 2 into 15, 30 IRMS square by pi r square into, what is this ds? Differential surface area for a spherical coordinate system. So we can write this as 2 pi r square sin theta d theta. Right. Now when I substitute this now, what will happen now? This pi and pi will get cancelled, r square will get cancelled. This is sin theta, sin square theta, 1 sin theta will get cancelled. I left over with what now? It is 2 into 30, 60 IRMS square into, what I can write this? This is nothing but cos square theta. This is nothing but cos square theta. So cos square theta is equal to, what is the formula we have? Cos square theta is equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. This is the formula we have. Okay. So using this formula we expand this now, cos square theta. So 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2 I can write by sin theta as it is. So because of this 2 will get cancelled inside this cos. So I will be getting cos of pi of cos theta. So this is the equation finally we normally going to get for the W, right? Now we have to solve for that particular equation, 1 plus cos pi cos theta, right? So using the substitution method, variable substitutions, we normally going to solve that particular last equation. Now while solving for the equation for the power density, W is equal to, we have got W is equal to 0 to pi 60 IRMS square into this particular factor whole square d theta. Now that W is equal to, I can write this 60 IRMS square is a constant parameter, I will simply take it out, and we are integrating with respect to theta because we are looking for radiation along the theta direction, directivity along theta direction. So therefore we are integrating with respect to theta, and theta is normally going to take values. What values theta is going to take? From 0 to pi. So theta is normally going to take from 0 to pi. So therefore I can write W is equal to 60 RMS square into integral of 0 to pi for cos square. Now this I can write as cos square pi by 2 cos theta by, this is sin theta. So after solving the equation for the power density, we will be getting this equation. Okay. Now after this, W is equal to 60 RMS square. This is nothing but cos square theta. What is cos square theta? 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. What is cos square theta formula? We have 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. So that is the formula we have. So therefore cos square theta is equal to 1 by 2 times 1 plus cos 2 theta. So 2 theta means what? 2 into pi by 2 cos theta means here I will be getting pi cos theta. So 1 plus cos of pi cos theta by sin theta d theta. Okay. Now for solving the equation using substitution method, what we do now? We normally going to take x, that means this particular integration factor whatever I have, I will be considering it as some equation x on LHS. So is equal to x is equal to 1 by 2 times this entire integration part I simply going to consider. Now I have to solve by substitution method. So for solving by using substitution method, we further make some assumptions as t, we say t is equal to some cos theta. So we equate t is equal to cos theta. Next when you differentiate t, because t and theta are going to be the variables. So therefore when you differentiate t, we get a d theta is equal to, what is differentiation of cos? Minus sin. So minus sin theta d theta. Okay. Now from this equation what I can get? D theta is equal to minus dt by sin theta. So what is sin theta? Sin theta is equal to under root of 1 minus cos square theta. Why? Because we have sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So based on that we can get sin theta is equal to under root of 1 minus cos square theta. So we can substitute that. Then after that we are going to have sin theta is equal to, we have a formula, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So from that I can have sin theta is equal to 1 minus sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta. So sin theta is equal to under root of 1 minus cos square theta. So now what is that? What is our assumption? Previously we had cos theta is equated to t. So we have made cos theta is equal to t here. So since cos theta is made equal to t here, I can substitute for cos theta is equal to t. Therefore I can write sin theta is equal to under root of 1 minus t square. So that is the formula that I normally going to have there. Then next let us take this particular initialization where we have made, that is t is equal to cos theta. Now we are going to change, that means we are going to convert this theta into t. So therefore the limits also we have to convert from theta to t. Therefore for getting into the limit values, what is that I am going to do now? When theta is equal to 0, let us substitute theta is equal to 0 here. What is cos theta? Cos theta is equal to, cos 0. What is cos 0? Cos 0 is equal to 1. Because theta is equal to 0 means cos 0 is equal to 1, therefore t becomes equal to plus 1. When theta is pi, what is cos pi? It is minus 1. So therefore t becomes equal to minus 1. So from the previous equation x, now we are normally going to represent theta in terms of t. Therefore I will be writing x is equal to 1 by 2 integral of, for theta is equal to 0 we replace with t, whose value is equal to plus 1. So therefore plus 1. Then for theta is equal to pi, t is equal to minus 1. I replace with minus 1. So I will make these substitutions now. So therefore next I write the previous equation as it is, as 1 plus cos of pi cos theta. So what is cos theta? T. So therefore pi t I can write. What is sin theta? Sin theta is equal to under root of 1 minus t square I have. So this under root of 1 minus t square I substitute here into d theta. What about d theta now? What is d theta? I can write this as So the next equation, x is equal to same equation I have to here. Then what is d theta? For d theta I can write is equal to what I can have, d theta is equal to minus dt by 1 minus under root of cos square theta. Okay, so that is known as sin theta, right? So I can write that as, I can write sin theta as under root of 1 minus t square. That means I will be getting an equation whose value is going to be equal to x is equal to 1 by 2 integral of plus 1 to minus 1 plus cos pi t by under root of 1 minus t square into minus dt by under root of 1 minus t square. So this root of 1 minus t square, root of 1 minus t square will get cancelled out each other. So after that we are normally going to solve this equation, right? So this is what we have now. Let us try to solve the equation further. Now you can see the equation after substitutions for x. So where I have written x is equal to 1 by 2 ranging from plus 1 to minus 1 into 1 plus cos of pi t, okay, by under root of 1 minus t square into minus dt by under root of 1 minus t square. So this term we have got from sin theta. Sin theta is equal to under root of 1 minus cos square theta. So cos theta is equal to t. Therefore I can write this as 1 minus under root of 1 minus t square. So therefore this root of 1 minus t square, root of 1 minus t square simply becomes into 1 minus t square. So I will be getting this as the value. Okay. Now here I will be having minus dt. See this now, this is minus dt. To eliminate minus, now I will be having minus here, this minus has come over here. To eliminate minus, what I will do now, I interchange the limits. So here to eliminate negative sign, we interchange the limits. Once you interchange the limits, this plus 1 is going to become minus 1, this minus 1 is going to become plus 1. So this minus sign is simply avoided here, minus sign is neglected here because we are interchanging the limits. So plus, now same equation remains same now, 1 plus cos pi t by 1 minus t square into dt. So that is the equation that we can have. Now here this 1 minus 1 by t square, I can simply extend it something like 1 by 2 into 1 by 1 minus t plus 1 by 1 plus t, right? So if you solve this equation, what I will be getting now, 1 plus t plus 1 minus t by 1 minus t square. What is that I will be getting now? This t will get cancelled. I will be getting 2 by 1 minus t square. What I want is, I want 1 by 1 minus t square. So therefore I simply multiply this by 1 by 2. When I multiply this by 1 by 2, what will happen now? So this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. This is 1 plus 1 2. This 2 will get cancelled. I simply go back to the previous equation. So therefore by making this substitution, I can get the expression for 1 by 1 minus t square in this particular fashion. So after this I simply expand this for 1 minus t square. What I can write here, x is equal to 1 by 2 under root of, integration minus 1 to plus 1 plus cos pi t. Now for this 1 by 1 minus t square, I am simply representing this now, that is 1 by 2 into what is that I am writing now, 1 by 2 into 1 by 1 plus t plus 1 by 1 minus t into dt. So this is what the approximation that we will be doing now. Now while solving this equation, what I am doing now here, let us make this substitution now. Instead of 1 by 1 minus t square, I just simply substitute this 1 by 2 into 1 plus t plus 1 by 1 minus t into dt. Now I can separate this for these two equations. I can make them as two equations now. That is 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 is 1 by 4 into integration of what I really going to write now. This is minus 1 to plus 1, of course. So this limit is going to be same, minus 1 to plus 1, that I will be having over here. Then next I am going to have now 1 plus cos pi t by 1 plus t plus 1 by 4 into 1 plus cos pi t by 1 minus t dt. So this is the equation I can have now. So I can write now this x is equal to now what is x now? I can make this particular part as some x1, the other part I can make as some say x2. So therefore the x can be in the form of x1 plus x2. Now we will try to solve x1 x2 independently to get into the equation now. Now proceeding further, we can now write down x is equal to x1 plus x2. In that equation I can simply substitute for x1 as 1 by 4 into this factor, where the limits are going to be minus 1 to plus 1, where numerator is going to be 1 plus cos pi t, denominator is 1 minus t. And similarly I can write it for x2 which is equal to same on the numerator, denominator is normally going to change as 1 minus t to solve the equation. Now for solving the equation, once again we will try to change the variable. So let us make another substitution for variable change, and we will write t is equal to minus x here. That is, when t is equal to plus 1, x value will be minus 1. See here, substitute here, t is equal to plus 1. What is x value? X is equal to minus 1. So if t is equal to minus 1, x will be equal definitely plus 1 for us. So if you differentiate this particular t is equal to minus x, what you get now? dt is equal to minus dx. Let us try to substitute them in the equation now. Okay. So here we have a equation with integration with respect to dt. T is a variable here. Now we are converting t to x. So therefore, see the limits now. These limits are for t. These limits are given for t. Now here we are converting the t limits to the x limits. Therefore, when t is equal to minus 1, what is x? Plus 1. When t is equal to plus 1, what is x? Minus 1. So therefore, when t is equal to minus 1, we write plus x. When t is equal to plus 1, we write minus 1. So that means for t is equal to plus 1, x is equal to minus 1. Therefore, I will write this equation as now 1 plus cos pi of, now what is t actually? T is taken as equal to minus x. So cos of minus pi x I can write by, this is what is t here? T is minus x, so therefore 1 plus x. So dt is equal to minus dx. So therefore I can write what now? I can write now x2 is equal to 1 by 4. Now I have interchanged, now these limits, this is whatever I have written here, plus 1 minus 1 is because of the substitution for t in terms of x, right. I have a minus here, negative symbol. To eliminate that minus sign, what I will do now, I interchange the limits now. So while interchanging limits, I will write now minus 1 to plus 1, from plus 1 to minus 1 in the integration. Then when I interchange the limits, then what I will do, this minus I will replace with plus. Therefore I can write it like this. Now if you see this equation is same as the x2. The form of this equation is in the same with the form with the x1. See here I have something like t is a variable here, x is a variable here. So these two are normally looking to be the same equations. So therefore I can write x is equal to 2 into x2. So we will substitute that 2 into x2 in this equation now. X is equal to 2 into x2. So whatever this x2 that just now I have computed, we normally going to substitute in this equation. So 2 here 4, 2 will normally go with 4. So therefore I will be getting 1 by 2 here. So 1 plus cos pi x by 1 plus x. Now once again I will make another substitution. This is going to be the last substitution for us towards getting into the final solution. So therefore let us make another substitution here. Now I have 1 plus x in the denominator. So I will make this substitution as 1 plus x is equal to y by pi. See, these substitutions you have to practice. If you practice the substitution, then only you can able to solve this in the exam based on the marks given to us. If the same question is given for around 10 marks, then you are supposed to solve the entire derivation. So see the marks and then derive for the derivation. Right. Now so therefore 1 plus x I can normally represent this 1 plus x I am writing as y by pi. So based on this I can write now y is equal to 1 plus x into pi when I cross multiply. So therefore y is nothing but equal to pi plus pi into x is pi x. So therefore now I have here pi x, I have 1 plus x. So 1 plus x already I have defined. pi x I have. For pi x, what I'll do now? Pi x is equal to y minus pi. I'll write like this. Then 1 plus x is equal to y by pi. That is what we have assumed. So from this equation, I can now differentiate this equation. Now when you differentiate this, dx is equal to dy by pi I am going to write. So now once again I am changing variable x to y. So since I am changing variable x to y, I have to convert the limits from x variable to y variable. Therefore, what is the relation between x and y? This is the relation between x and y. That is what y is equal to pi plus pi x. When x is equal to minus 1, what is y? Y is equal to 0. How y is equal to 0? When x is equal to minus 1, what I will be having now? Y is equal to pi plus pi into minus 1. So that means this is minus pi plus pi. These two will get cancelled. We get the value as 0. So when x is equal to minus 1, we get y equal to 0. Similarly, when x is equal to plus 1, pi plus pi is going to be 2 pi. I will normally going to get the limits as 2 pi. Now what happened now? The limits, when you change this x into y variable, then you should substitute for dx. What is that I have got for dx? Dx I have got as dy by pi. What is that I have for 1 plus x? 1 plus x I can substitute by y by pi. Now what is pi x I have? Pi x is equal to y minus pi. I will substitute. And what about limits now? These limits are for x. See, we are integrating with respect to x. So therefore these limits are for x. Now we are converted that to limits y. So therefore these limits we have converted for y. Therefore what we normally do now? We have to substitute for y. For y is equal to 0, for x is equal to minus 1. For x is equal to minus 1, just now we got y is equal to 0. So we substitute here 0. When x is equal to plus 1, y is going to have a value of 2 pi. So therefore we have to take the limits as y is going to extend between 0 to 2 pi. 1 plus cos of pi x means y minus pi. 1 plus x means y by pi. Dx is nothing but equal to dy by pi. So that is what going to be the expression for simply x. So once after we get this, let us solve this particular equation. Now after substituting y for x, what is that I will be getting now? X is equal to 1 by 2. Y is going to take the limits from 0 to 2 pi. Then 1 plus cos of pi x. Pi x is known as y minus pi. So this is going to be 1 plus x means y by pi. Dy by pi. So this pi and pi will get cancelled. Now what is this value? Cos of y minus pi. I can take minus outside. So minus of, it is going to be cos of pi minus y. What is cos 180 minus theta? Cos theta. So therefore we normally going to get as minus cos y. So the equivalent expression for this one, cos y minus pi, is nothing but equal to minus cos y. So thereby I will be getting this as 1 minus cos y by y dy. Now I got all the terms with respect to y now. Now since I got all the variables with respect to y, we know that cos function is an even function. Since cos is an even function, what we normally going to have now? Since cos is an even function, we expand this cos in terms of a binomial expansion for an even function. So therefore, if it is even function, what I'll be having now? This is 1 minus of cos y. So for cos y, for this cos y, I am representing all this binomial expansion. So I can write this as 1 minus y square by 2 factorial plus y power 4 by 4 factorial minus y power 6 by 6 factorial plus y power 8 by 8 factorial. That means all even terms we normally going to get with alternate minus plus signs. So this is what the entire equation I will be getting, and I will be integrating this with respect to y. So once I integrate this with respect to y, divided by y as it is, that I will be having. So after this 1 will get cancelled. This is minus into minus plus. So all these signs simply will get interchanged. That means earlier it was 1 minus y square by 2 factorial. Now I will be writing this as y square by 2 factorial minus y to the power 4 by 4 factorial. Okay, plus y to the power 6 by 6 factorial plus minus y to the power 8 by 8. Like this I can extend it up to around 14 terms. Okay, I can extend this up to around 14 terms. So now after I get this x is equal to 1 by 2, into all this factor, what I can do now? I can simply divide the above equation with respect to y. Now while solving the previous equation, that is by dividing the previous equation with respect to y. So by dividing the equation with respect to y, we have in the previous equation, we have in the denominator y. So therefore we simply divide it by y. Once you divide it by y, we normally going to get here y square. Earlier we used to have for 2 factorial. So we got y. Similarly you are going to have y power 4 here. So you are going to have y power 3. So like that, once we divide it by y, we will be getting a y power 5 by 6 factorial, y power 7 by 8 factorial. So all this is integrated with respect to y over the limit 0 to 2 pi. So this is what the equation we have. Now let us solving this equation. Once you integrate this, what is integration of y power 1? Integration of y power 1 is y square by 2. Integration of y power 3 is y power 4 by 4. Integration of y power 5 is y power 6 by 6. So it is going to be y to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1. That is the formula we have. So using that formula we can expand this. Okay. So therefore I will be getting this as y square by 2 factorial into 2, and here y cube by 4 factorial into 4, like that y to the power 6 by 6 factorial into 6 minus y to the power 8 by 8 factorial into 8. Like this I can extend this up to 14. Means what? See, everywhere you are getting two terms. Y power 2, y power 4, y power 6, all even numbers you are getting. So therefore we can write this as y power 10 by 10 factorial into 10, y power 12 by 12 factorial into 12, y power 14 by 14 factorial into 14, y power 16 by 16 factorial into 16. So thereby we will be getting 4 terms, 4 positive terms. See here, this is a positive term, this is a negative term, this is a positive term, right? Like that we should try to get the values for 4 positive terms as well as 4 negative terms. So in this equation I have shown you only 2 terms. You please try to extend in your notes with all the terms. So at least you should get 2 terms more for the positive and 2 terms more for the negative. 2 terms more for the, that means what, altogether 4 terms we still are going to get. That means y to the power 8. Now what is that? We normally going to write this. After this what we can write now? Y to the power 10 by 10 factorial into 10. Then y to the power 12 by 12 factorial into 12. Then y to the power 14 by 14 factorial into 14. Y to the power 16 by 16 factorial into 16. Okay. So we have here minus. So since we have minus here, it will be having plus, then minus, plus, minus. So that means how many plus terms I am having? 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously 4 minus terms. So you will be getting, so this is the complete equation that we normally going to have for the x equation, x parameter. Now this y is going to take, after integration, this y is going to take limits between 0 to 2 pi. So the limits are going to be between 0 to 2 pi. So therefore y is going to take, if y is going to take 2 pi, what is pi? 3.14. So I will be getting 6.28. Now let us apply logarithm to this. Why we are going to apply logarithm? We will just came to know. So if you apply logarithm of y, what is log of 6.28? It is going to be 0.7942. So next, similarly I have y square here. So therefore let us go with log of y square. Log of y square means what? 2 log y formula. So log y is already I have 0.7942, 2 into that factor. So I will be getting some value as 1.58. And next one is I have 4 here. What is 2 factorial into 2? What is 2 factorial? It is 2 factorial, I can write as 2 into 1 into 2. That is going to be 4. What is 4 factorial? I can write as 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 into 4. So like that 6 factorial, 8 factorial and other factorial values. So now log 4 base 10 is equal to 0.602 that we are going to get. Now after we get this, similarly, now after we get this, what we will do now? We got a value. See this logarithm of y square we have got. Okay, logarithm of 4 we have got. See this logarithm of 4 we have got. So logarithm of y square by logarithm of 4. We have to substitute now to get into the value for y square by 4. Now see what we will be doing here. We have simply computed this. Y square by 2 factorial into 2 we have here. So in the previous equation we have y square by 2 factorial into 2. So here we are applied log here. Log y square we computed, log 4 we have computed. Log y square we got as 1.58, log 4 we got as 0.62. So therefore we can write this as log of y square by 4 is equal to this result of this. What is the result of this? 0.9853. Now the value of this y square by 4, which is the first term in the previous equation, what I am going to have? Inverse log of 0.9853. Inverse log of this is equal to 9.690. Like this you have to find out the logarithmic, you have to find out the values for y to the power 4 by 4 factorial into 4, y to the power 6 by 6 factorial into 6, okay, y to the power 8 by 8 factorial into 8, and so on up to y to the power 16 by 16 factorial into 16. And please separate out the positive terms as well as negative terms.